Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, has been killed. Many people in command under him have been killed. The U.S., along with Israeli forces, have attacked Iran and virtually overthrown the regime. And the war in Iran has ignited controversy on all sides. But how should the church respond? That's what I want to get into today. So the tensions in the Middle East have escalated beyond Israel and the Gaza Strip. Now it's Israel and Iran, along with the U.S. and Iran. And today I want to dive into that escalating war with Iran. Now it's within its first few weeks, and the U.S. and Israel together have been striking Tehran and beyond, all under the President Trump's directive. But what should the church do? I want to think about that and unpack it biblically and practically. And there are 3 points I want to talk about. The first are factual events. What are the factual events that have occurred so far? And you have to forgive me, but I want to read them to you so as not to misquote them. So the key U.S. and Israeli actions against Iran have been as follows. There have been hundreds of strikes hitting Iranian missiles, infrastructure, and command centers. That was just in the first 12 hours alone, but it included the Supreme National Security Council headquarters. Follow-up attacks sank Iranian ships, destroyed a covert nuclear site, and downed an Iranian jet with an F-35I over Tehran. And now by March 4th, strikes intensified on Tehran military compounds. With the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he was kind of signaling some escalation. As far as the Iranian retaliation, it included this. Iran launched hundreds of missiles and thousands of drones at U.S. bases. Israel and allies, including Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Jordan, Oman, Iraq, and a UK base in Cyprus. But what is the general consensus of this? So I want to talk about it first from the standpoint. From this standpoint, there's a feeling of fear of the loss of life, the loss of loved ones, and social and civil unrest. But that's coupled with a feeling of hope for this regime change, hopefully leading to broader freedoms for women's rights and the right of life to protesters. Here in the United States, it's been divisive, to say the least. We have people on all sides. Some are defending the actions of the president, and some are condemning the actions of the president. And I think it boils down to your perception of motive, what you believe his motivations behind this are. There are United States interests involved, but he's doing a good thing, protecting the protesters and protecting the rights of women. The second thing we should do is interpret this through a biblical lens. And we need to understand that the Bible, it doesn't shy away from wars. We just need to think about David's Psalms in the middle of a battle, or Jesus's weeping over Jerusalem. Romans 13 acknowledges the governing authority's right to wield swords, while Matthew 5 blesses the peacemakers. But what is the church to do? Well, the church's first call always is prayer, and it's to seek the peace of the city. Just look up Jeremiah 29:7. And in the middle of Iran's aggression against Israel and Israel's defense, we are to pray for the leaders of Israel, like it says in 1 Timothy chapter 2. And we need to pray for the persecuted church and pray against the enemies of salvation. And we don't need to pick sides in this conflict, but we need to push God's kingdom agenda. And lastly, is this the beginning of the tribulation? No major prophetic source identifies the war with Iran as triggering the tribulation. Instead, it awaits the Antichrist's covenant, as it says in Daniel chapter 9. And we do need to take note of what's happening, as far as Middle Eastern tensions rising and the rise of anti-Semitism. But we really need to take care and not set dates on events. Why? Because while ongoing regional wars are supportive to the biblical narrative, they aren't uniquely prophetic within themselves. Could it be the birth pains of the events of Revelation? Yes, it could be, but ultimately what really matters is focus. If we focus less on the kingdoms of the earth and focus more on God's kingdom while we're here on earth, we will do what He calls us to do at all times and in any situation. And as we do this, whether it's the United States, whether it's Israel, or whether it's Iran, we will owe them no apologies.